Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Saturday, March 1st, and we're here to finish looking at the new releases that were published this week. We didn't have them on Wednesday due to internet issues on my side, so we're going to have this extra special edition this morning. Good morning, Esther Jane. How you doing? How's your Saturday so far? So we have a handful of cozy mysteries to look at. So a quick announcement, I do have sprints this afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern, and they'll be going for 5 hours. Next week, we'll be doing our regular schedule, hopefully. Cross your fingers. We don't have any other technical issues. Good morning, Cajun. How you doing? It's been quiet. I like those kind of mornings. Very much so. All right. So these are the rest of the cozy mysteries that were published in this past week, if you consider Saturday a part of this week. I don't think we looked at Murder on Tap, did we? I know we looked at the mermaid glass one. I don't think we did this one. Plus, we have, excuse me, more time to actually read these. Well, other than sprints this afternoon, you guys have any plans for the weekend? I have a haircut after this is done. Right now it's 8 o'clock my time. I have it at 10 o'clock. It's been very, very long overdue. And so when you see me next, it'll probably be shorn. All right, Murder on Tap by Wendy Meadows, second in Cherry's Cozy Capers. Excuse me. Cherry Brewster thought running Brewster Brewery would be a refreshing start, but when a late-night fire reduces the brewery to ashes, Cherry barely escapes with her life, only to realize the flames weren't accidental. Someone locked her in Bernie's office before the blaze began, and the official faulty wiring story doesn't add up. With Brewster Brewery's future on the line and tensions brewing with Bernie's hot-headed relatives, Cherry's sleuthing uncovers missing money, old grudges, and a suspect list longer than her brewery's tap handles. As whispers of betrayal foam over in danger, that one's pushing it, sorry. Cherry must act fast before she's the next one served. Excuse me. All right, end of that row. That row went fast. Pages may work on my February pages of my reading journal. Don't have the stickers for the books yet, but I can do the other pages. Ah, that could be a plan, for sure. Esther St. Jane says, it's cold here with flurries, so this gal is having a jammies day. Oh, I would too. Good for you. And reading and drinking tea all day. That sounds lovely. We are having a heat wave. We are in the 50s. Or, you know, not. Yeah, it's Saturday. You can do what you want to do. Woohoo! I started reading my scavenger hunt book, Night and Day. Who's that by? Karen Allen. It's a historical mystery. Hadn't read it before. It's not bad. I'm just starting it, so not bad. Murder and the Old Barn, Taco Truck Mysteries, book number 2 by Dennis Schock. After Zoe is forced to take on a new identity, she heads to Dublin, Ohio to help U.S. Marshal Ray Stark in a murder investigation involving his close friend. Ray suspects the murder is part of an elaborate art heist and is confident that Zoe, now Kira Glass, did the author decide to change the name or something, has the expertise to crack the case. With her newly adopted dog, Cody, by her side, Kira must tap into her past skills to discover the plot behind the theft. As she encounters mysterious neighbors and uncovers unsettling clues, Kira starts to feel the heat as the investigation intensifies. Just start a new series if you want to start over. Will Kira be able to find the stolen art and solve the murder before danger finds her? Can an ex-thief uncover the truth in a golf course community to solve the mystery and find both a murderer and a missing masterpiece? Mr. Jane says that weather's coming to us by Wednesday. Yep, it's in Montana, moving your direction. It's nice. It's coming. Hi, Kim. Good morning. And no game today. Oh, really? Okay. Was this one that you thought was a home game, but then it isn't? Or did it just get canceled? Cajun, I did get some of the books I need for March this morning. Found a UK chicklet that has time in the title, so will be my scavenger hunt. And working on books for the Ireland prompts. Oh. Mutiny at the Manor by Nellie H. Steele. Third in the Pearl Party Cozy Mysteries. It's the trip of a lifetime. What could go wrong? When Kelly Silverman wins a trip to an exclusive masquerade ball at an English manor, she's convinced it's the perfect opportunity for a glamorous getaway. After all, what could go wrong in the picturesque countryside? You've never lived in a countryside, have you? Jody, however, is less impressed by the creepy Larkin Manor, the endless rain, and a butler straight out of a horror film. She'd much rather be sipping cocktails on a sunny cruise. But the sisters' attempt at a sophisticated weekend quickly spirals into a mix of mayhem and mystery when the enigmatic drinking game host drops dead, face first, into his own dramatic, secrets-revealing soiree. Suddenly, Kelly and Jody are front and center, accused of a crime they didn't commit, trapped with a house full of eccentric suspects, and navigating halls named things like the Burning Isle. With quirky guests throwing accusations, a storm raging outside, and the only way out being through finding the real killer, Kelly and Jody are forced to jump into detective mode again. Between old-fashioned tea, haunted corridors, and a possible murderer lurking behind every mysterious door, the sisters must solve the crime before they end up as permanent residents of Larkin Manor. Sorry. Kim says, I think the schedule on the app I can listen and watch on was wrong. It happens. Mr. James says, I'm reading Murder by Lamplight. Oh, by Patrice and loving it. Isn't it good? It's good. I liked it. You know, when you read a good book, you go, why was I ignoring this for so long? And what I'm going to say right now is so that the second book could be published. Crime Scenes and Blackcurrant Cream by Rachel Beatty, third in a slice of life cozy mysteries. It's not like I go looking for trouble, but when my former teacher and current friend comes to me with a problem nobody else takes seriously, I know I have to step in and help her. This mystery might not be a mystery as far as the sheriff is concerned, but when my earliest investigations land me in the middle of a crime scene, we might have to work together to get to the truth. Okay. What do you mean, page not found? Interesting. Double Trouble Murder by Sophia Blake. Well, let's see if we can track it down. Oh, looks like it doesn't exist anymore. Interesting. End of that row. Oops, stay. Sit. Kim says, but I want a game. Oh, I know. Are you able to watch like spring NBA? That's what my mom's doing. Mr. Jane, so good. And thanks for the suggestion. Yeah. Glad you're liking it. A Handful of Hexes by Poppy Bridgman, fourth in the Witch of Henbane Island series. Cassie Fortuna is desperate to belong. Still finding her place on the island her parents were forced to leave in exile years ago, the new retreat owner feels hopeful while taking reservations for an upcoming festival. But someone derails her plans for the town-wide event when a stranger turns up dead. Invited to help with the investigation, Cassie worries when the local cop reveals he's being controlled by an unknown enemy and asks for her help to break the spell. But as they try to track down a murderer on the loose, she fears the 15 talismans she found could be the key to unearthing a killer. Can she conjure answers before secrets of the past and present brew up more trouble? Devil Wears Murder by Brittany E. Brinegar, 15th in the Hollywood Whodunit. So it's a take on the Devil Wears Prada. Got it. Esther Jane, perfect start to March Mystery Madness. Oh, is that what March is? Cool, cool. Well, I plan on reading mysteries anyway. Okay, there may be a Braves game on today. Need to check radio. Oh, murder is always in fashion. When aspiring actress Becky Robinson lands an undercover assignment in Hollywood's high-stakes fashion world, she expects attitude, ambition, and overpriced lattes, not a missing person case that turns into murder. Fashion mogul Diane Rhodes hires the Robinson Family Detective Agency to track down her estranged husband, a once powerful Hollywood producer who vanished without a trace. But when his body is found floating face down in a Sunset Boulevard swimming pool, Diane finds herself in the glare of the media spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Becky must navigate the treacherous world of designer gowns, industry secrets, and rivalries sharper than a pair of stiletto heels. But in a town built on illusions, where loyalty is a luxury and betrayal is always in vogue, she realizes that nothing is as it seems. Can she stitch together the clues before the killer makes her the next fashion faux pas? Or will she learn the hard way that Hollywood loves a tragedy? Banshee, Moonshine, and Madness. Holly Harrow, a Point Muse cozy paranormal mystery. By Kelly Ethan, second in that series. Holly Harrow, witchy banshee, hates chaos and mayhem, but since Thanatos, death personified, aka Nate Mortis, settled in Point Muse, life has calmed and her romantic prospects might be looking up. Until Elspeth Harrow, matriarch of the Harrow family and Holly's grandmother, cries feud on a witch-shine competitor. A wicked witch never loses, even if she has to cheat. People are hallucinating and dropping dead. A saboteur has targeted Elspeth and her competitor. A ghost is haunting the town and a killer is on the loose, and Elspeth is top of the suspect list. If she wants peace, Holly has no choice but to swing into Banshee detective mode, track the killer down, stop the saboteur, and banish a ghost. And don't even mention her talking stuffed Viking raven. I wasn't going to mention it. I really wasn't. Death and Dog Shows. Corpse Collector Cozy Mystery Series, book number 4 of 9. How do we know it's 9? But it's being published this week. I thought I checked everything. Let's go here for a minute. And technically, okay. We'll trust it. Trust but verify. By Tammy Tyree. What begins as a simple day of canine admiration quickly spirals into suspicion, secrets, and a shocking discovery. With her best friends Trixie and Radley, plus the ever-watchful Deputy Charlie, Kerrigan follows a trail of clues buried under a polished surface of wealth and jealousy. But when she takes in the missing woman's beloved dog, she soon realizes her cats have more than a mystery to solve. They have an unexpected house guest. Shouldn't that be the other way around? When you take it in your house, yeah, your cats are going to have an unexpected house guest. Will Kerrigan uncover the truth before the secrets of the show come to light? And it's one of those cartoony covers that I don't really care for. I hope that trend passes quickly. End of that row. The Corpse with Four Wives, Purgatory Falls Mysteries, number 5. By Nikki Haverstock. Mermaid Brook is settling into her small town life pretty well when her sister shows up with all of Brooke's possessions from their mother's home and a plan to snag a man while in town. But Brooke is distracted by the fact that the host whose party she attended with Aiden ends up dead, and one of his 4 widows asks for help, mermaid to mermaid. But when it turns out that everyone involved with the dead polygamist was hiding secrets and her own sister has set her eyes on Aiden, Brooke is pulled into every direction. With everyone around Brooke talking about what love means, the biggest mystery might be the question of what her heart really wants. Oh yeah, and solving the murder. You know, I added that. That's not really there. They would never do that. I would. We're here to solve a crime. Maybe she had a plan for the series. Yeah, she might, have said, look, these are coming out this year. Let's let them know there's a lot to read. Good point. Paige, I wonder if she's related to Beth somehow. Tyree is not a common name. Oh, very possible. Nepotism reigns. Or just has the right connections. Murder at the Cabin, a Tall Pines Cozy Mystery, book number 4 by Avery Kent. A spontaneous visit to her family's cabin leads small-town nursery owner Rosemary Hart to walk straight into a crime scene. Instead of warming their toes by a cozy fire, Rosemary and her friends discover the wife of a fellow cabin owner dead, her husband injured, and a suspicious trail into the woods. The prime suspect? Bobby, the quiet, soft-spoken, kind-hearted son of the cabin's manager who Rosemary has known for years. Although the local police believe they've found the culprit, something doesn't add up. Rosemary doesn't buy it. Bobby is no killer. As the trio starts digging, they uncover more than just buried mountain secrets. The victim wasn't exactly well loved, and with a growing list of enemies, they discover secrets and a history of long-held grudges. With a killer on the loose and time running out, can Rosemary, her friends, and their beloved animal companions unearth the truth before the snowy retreat ends in disaster? Well, at least they didn't talk about an incoming blizzard and there's trap there. I will give points for that. 3 points for that author. Murder on Target. A 1920s historical cozy mystery, an E.V. Parker mystery, book number 22 by Sonia Perrin. I've not read this series. I've seen the covers. Evie and Tom have received a call for help from Lottie Mannering, the lady detective of many disguises. Lottie has been engaged to keep Miss Cornelia Hanson, heiress of a vast fortune, safe during a weekend house party. With more guests arriving at Rosendale Hall, Miss Cornelia's residence, Lottie is struggling to keep track of anyone and everyone who looks suspicious. Matters are made worse when Miss Cornelia receives another death threat. Someone is prepared to go to great lengths to stop her from meeting a prospective husband. When one of the guests turns up dead, they know there's a killer with serious intentions, and they're not afraid to keep trying as someone else suffers a serious injury clearly intended to be fatal. Evie and Tom rely on Lottie to employ her many disguises to dig up the information they need to identify the killer. They're not exactly short of assistants as Millicent, Tom's cousins, the Dowagers, and Toodles join in the hunt. It seems they are now all in the sleuthing business. However, even with so many sharp-eyed observers, they all seem to miss something obvious, and by the time they realize this, it might be too late. And somehow archery is involved. I don't know, I do and I don't like that cover. I don't. It's a little creepy. The Invisible Corpse by Della Pearl, second in the Matinee Classics Cozy Mystery Series. If you're looking for green on the cover for a scavenger hunt, here is one. A picturesque home with a view to die for, nice and cozy until a body is spotted hanging from the rafters. Let's ignore that. Stevie agrees to help her former teacher box up her home just before someone reports a body hanging in the house next door. But when the police come to investigate, the victim is gone, along with any sign that a crime had been committed. When the police decide that someone with an overactive imagination cried wolf, Stevie once again decides to investigate. If only her friends and family didn't look at her like she's trying to find a killer just to get attention. The clock is ticking, and Stevie has to solve this mystery before the opportunity, like the body, vanishes. And I didn't click on it, did I? We will click on it, pause here, let you see it. Give the author its moment in the spotlight. It says each mystery is a standalone, but reading in order is best to avoid spoilers, which kind of negates the first part of that sentence. End of that row. Murder at the Observatory, a Lady Elizabeth Hawthorne mystery, book number 5 by Oliva Rose. Nope, Olivia. But if you look up here, this is where I look for it. They forgot the I. By Olivia Rose. That makes more sense. I've not read this series. Galaxies, Guile, and a Deadly Night Sky. When a rare celestial event ends in tragedy, a Lady Elizabeth Hawthorne's island retreat becomes a deadly paradise. The celebrated astronomer Professor Magnus Whitaker is found dead, an apparent suicide after a humiliating failure. But the constellation of clues points to a more sinister truth. With each guest harboring their own dark matter, she must navigate a treacherous maze of lies and betrayal. As whispers of blackmail and long-buried secrets orbit the secluded island, the line between ally and adversary blurs like a distant nebula. Guys, you're pushing it. You're pushing it. With the cosmic clock ticking and danger lurking in every shadow, Elizabeth must align with the stars. Must align the stars of truth before the killer strikes again in this deadly game of celestial chess. Can she outmaneuver a killer who seems to map the sphere with deadly precision, or will she be eclipsed by their murderous machinations? They were pushing it. Pushing it. Another green on the cover, but this doesn't look creepy at all, that scarecrow. Murder in the Meadow, a talking dog cozy mystery. I'm out. Bulldog on the Case cozy mystery, book number 11. 305 pages. This is by Rosie Sams. And book number 11 of a talking dog. The tranquil life of a sleepy British village is shattered when a chilling discovery is made in Farmer Yates' field. Sassy, the French bulldog with a nose for mischief, unearths a scarecrow with a deadly secret. Her owner, amateur sleuth Lola Ramsey, finds herself entangled in a cozy mystery that reaches deep into the village's past. Hidden in a scarecrow is the body of Viktor Malinov, a controversial historian who prides himself on uncovering the skeletons in Southbrook's closets. Lola, with help from her sock-loving companion Sassy, dives into the investigation. They encounter a web of deception spun through generations. With the help of her friends Tilly, Alice, and Link, Lola unravels a tapestry of suspects, each with motives as intricate and tangled as the vines in the village's well-kept gardens. Cadaver at the Closing by, is it B.I.? It is B.I. Skinner. Third in the Spooky Shanty Realty Mysteries. Question, is there a line of 1920 cozy mysteries? Clarification, what do you mean by a line? Are you looking for recommendations, looking at mysteries set in the 1920s? I can do what I can to answer that, just need a little bit more info. Real estate agent Molly Fitzel thought her biggest challenge would be overcoming her reputation as the agent who finds bodies in houses she's selling. I mean, really, there's no way an agent finds 3 bodies, right? No, they find 4. But when her kindly buyer is found strangled in the historic Ravenkeep Manors library the night before closing, she discovers his grandfatherly persona concealed a master con artist who left behind a trail of ruined lives, cryptic messages, and a mysterious code that could be worth dying for or killing over. With her client list dwindling, her psychic visions intensifying, and a threatening figure following her around town, Molly must solve the murder before she becomes the next victim, all while managing her precocious wizard son, a talking Great Dane, and a house poltergeist who knows all her passwords. Titled 1920s. Oh, I don't think there's a line like a Harlequin or a specific. Gotcha. Okay. No, I just think there's a lot of books out there set during the 1920s. People are finding that to be a fun era to write about, the bright young things between the wars and so forth. There are a lot of them out there set during that, so they might have that as a subtitle. Acting Out Secrets by Nellie Stein, Book 3 in a Pebble Bay Cozy Mystery Series. In small-town Pebble Bay, blackmail haunts the local theater and death is disguised in dramatic performances. This mystery unfolds as danger and deceit paint the stage. The company embraces awful accidents and menacing plans. They embrace them? A maintenance worker falls from a ladder. A dead body is amongst the props, and another is found at the local inn. Sarah Flynn, local bookshop owner, is pulled into the heart of the drama. Her friend and theater owner, Mrs. Olson, was taken in for questioning. Detective Larson lurks in the shadows as chaos unfolds. Torn between duty and emotion, he must trust his instincts to protect his closest ally. Leading actress Marcia Gray and set designer Shelley Withers both confess to murder, sending the investigation into startling new direction. With pressure mounting and secrets slipping into the spotlight, Sarah rallies the cast and crew to dive into the details. They need to retrace each scene to unmask the villain. Full of determination, she must find who is harboring sinister motives before the final act turns deadly. I kind of like that cover, actually. It's pretty. Nice color balance. Cookies and Crime, a freshly baked cozy mystery, book number 35 by Kathleen Suzette. I will taste test each one of those cookies. It's just for science. Yep, you're welcome. Oh, you bet. No, good questions. Hi, Emily. I was filming my wrap-up, which is why I'm late. So confused that there's a Saturday show. Yeah, me too. Because we didn't have one on Wednesday because there was an internet outage in my area. We just didn't get to everything. So I thought I would have an extra show this morning to catch up on the cozy mysteries because there's a lot of them. Not complaining, just an unexpected surprise. Surprise! Tragedy. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. When Allie Blanchard agrees to bake cookies for the community theater's fundraiser, she never expects to find herself center stage in a murder investigation. You've been doing it for 35 times, girl. The Sandy Harbor Playhouse has been closed for a decade and is finally set to reopen, and the town is buzzing over the return of B-list celebrity Kinsey Kensington. But excitement turns to shock when the former theater director is found dead on his own stage. With her detective husband Alec working the official investigation and her best friend Lucy eager to help, Allie juggles wedding planning for her daughter while unraveling secrets from the Playhouse's past. As tensions rise, suspects emerge, all of them surprising. Allie must expose the killer before they drop the curtain on her permanently. Irises and Indictments, 10th in a Pedal Pusher's Flower Shop Cozy Mystery Series by Elsie Turner. Cajun says, I do like Kathleen Suzette Freshly Baked series. She is middle-aged and has college-aged children, so it's a bit different. Well, look, well, just go spoiled. That's okay. I do like a more mature. As I'm getting maturer, I just can't stand dithering young. You know what I mean. As Valentine's Day nears, love is in the air, and the flower shop is buzzing with activity. Presley is excited to help her friend Willie plan the perfect romantic dinner to propose to his girlfriend and Presley's best friend, Katie. He's going to propose to both. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Took me a minute. It's like he's going to propose to two girls. But when the big night arrives, Willie is nowhere to be found and no one has heard from him. The mystery deepens when a ransom note arrives. Now, Presley must find out what happened to Willie. But will she be too late? Sorry, I had confusions. Probably not enough coffee. In Time to the Music by Pamela Harju. First in Time to the Music. Professor Vanessa Naylor has a questionable gift. Musical warnings that pop into her mind ahead of significant events. When a homicide occurs on college premises, Vanessa's unusual talent might be all that can keep her one step ahead of the killer. It's the start of another term at Edwardson Music College. Vanessa and her colleagues are busy assessing their first-year students, among them a multi-instrumentalist prodigy, Remy Dunford, who creates a stir on campus, but not as much as the disappearance and subsequent murder of one of the students. After Vanessa is first on the scene to discover the body, fate keeps throwing her and Remy in the path of dangerous events. Both of their lives are at risk unless the police can catch the culprit. Well, with all that stuff going on, you'd think it'd be more than 208 pages. You'd think it'd cross the 300 mark, but it doesn't. It has an intriguing premise, but it seems kind of short for all that is going on there. That's just me. That's just me complaining, like I usually do. Kagan says, I guess if you start when there are 30 some out, they don't consider things like a marriage as a spoiler, but considering I just saw them go through first date, guess no mystery. Yeah, by this point, you can't, like with the Meg, who am I thinking of? Meg Lenslow, what's that series? There's stuff you can't avoid at that point. A Beauty Queen's Guide to Murder and Mayhem, first in a Dakota Green mystery series. Look at all those blurbs. Somebody's got friends. Stable hand Dakota Green would rather compete in the Hunger Games than Aubergine's annual beauty pageant, but her late mother's last wish is about to see her trading her muck boots for Jimmy Choo's and uncover a decades-old mystery of a missing beauty queen. Welcome to Aubergine, Virginia, where the mountains are blue, the air is sweet, and the beauty queens have secrets darker than last year's spray tan. Armed with more sarcasm than sequins, Dakota reluctantly enters the cutthroat world of sashes and smiles to save her family home. But when the pageant owner vanishes faster than she can shimmy into an evening gown, suspicion lands on Dakota's beloved Aunt Dee Dee. Now Dakota must navigate a minefield of catty contestants, skeptical judges, the infuriatingly handsome new sheriff, and the unsolved beauty queen mystery, all while mastering the art of walking in heels without looking like a newborn foal. Can this reluctant pageant star unmask a killer, clear her aunt's name, and claim the crown, or will she be the next to disappear? Ellie Alexander blurbed it. A lot of reader blurbage. A lot of reader blurbage. As they say, it's got legs. Frosty Feline. Yes, thank you. I could see it in my brain. My mouth just couldn't say it. Thank you very much. Lots and lots of changes and growth in that. Yeah, I mean, at this point, they have like kids and grandkids, right? Frosty Feline by Braley Parkinson, part of Cozy Cat Floofy Feline Mysteries, third in that series, it looks like. When Magnolia Bennett, her boyfriend Colton, and her feline sleuths Floof and Fiona head to a cozy ski lodge for a relaxing vacation, they expect to find fresh powder, warm fires, and a little adventure on the slopes. Instead, they find themselves at the center of a chilling mystery. Magnolia is thrilled to meet her favorite mystery author during a festive murder mystery dinner, but the excitement turns to shock when a real murder takes place. As a snowstorm traps the guests in the lodge, Magnolia and her furry sidekicks must step into the role of detectives. With the police unable to reach the lodge, secrets unravel and tempers flare among the stranded guests. Can Magnolia, Colton, and her clever cats uncover the truth before the killer strikes again? I don't think the cats care. Honest. And then there's Burbage. Tea, Coffee, Murder, Portraits of a Killer, a Black Feather Mystery. Book 11 by Ellen Barksdale. Late Revenge on Louise. The cook at the Black Feather inherits 5 painted portraits and is faced with a mystery. All the portraits show Dr. Desmond Van Gelder, a criminal she put behind bars as a young agent. Louise is horrified when she realizes that Van Gelder is now free and that he has taken a hostage. She has just 10 days to decipher the riddles hidden in the portraits and save the young woman he is holding captive. All right. Quick read, 148 pages. A new episode in the Cheringham series. This is book number 48. But they are under 200 pages, so they go fast. Cheringham, A Fatal Illusion by Matthew Costello and Neil Richards. They've been writing together on major projects for the BBC, Disney Channel, Sony, ABC, Eidos, and Nintendo, to name but a few. So this is their little dabble on the side. It's a pretty kitty, though. Yes. When an elderly, world-famous magician is found dead in his Cheringham mansion, there is nothing suspicious about the passing. According to the doctor, it was a heart attack, plain and simple. But the performer's longtime assistant suspects something sinister, and she asks Jack and Sarah to investigate. And like the great magician's amazing tricks, it soon becomes clear that his death is anything but simple. In the world of magic, nothing is ever what it seems, and sometimes even illusions can turn deadly. Set in the sleepy English village of Cheringham, the detective series brings together an unlikely sleuthing duo, English web designer Sarah and American ex-cop Jack. But with a spot of tea. Thrilling and deadly, but with a spot of tea. It's like Rosamund Pilcher meets Inspector Barnaby, is how they are tagging it. I have not read any of them. I almost did once. When we were looking for a long-running series, Scavenger Hunt. Never did, though. Terminated at the Trailhead. Book number 9 in the Nightmare, Arizona Paranormal Cozy Mysteries by Beth Dulgner. Comes out today. Pages says, I think the current Barney on Midsummer Murders narrates those. Oh, Cheringham books, or some of them been tempted to give them a listen. Yeah, that's where I've seen them too. Terror, Treasure, and Triumph in Nightmare, Arizona. When Olivia Kendrick and her friends stumble on a dead body at a state park, it's clear supernatural forces were to blame. At the same time, shady people are showing up in Nightmare, and every one of them has had a reason to kill. As rumors swirl about something powerful hidden in Nightmare, another murder victim puts the staff of Nightmare Sanctuary Haunted House on high alert. Is there a serial killer on the loose, or are there 2 killers to catch? Meanwhile, Olivia and her friends have an encouraging new lead about the whereabouts of Baxter Shackelford, the haunted house's missing owner. It will take the combined abilities of them all to get the answers they need. End of that row. One more row to go. And then we can stick a pin in it. Bunbury, episodes 13 through 15. By Helena Marchmont. This is Miss Marple Meets Oscar Wilde. This compilation contains books episodes 13 through 15. Lost and Found. Life is looking up for amateur sleuth Alfie McAllister. He has found relatives he never knew he had, and at long last he has replaced the avocado suite in his bathroom. But he is shocked to get a plea for help from his niece Ruby. He offers her sanctuary in Bunbury, but his invitation brings danger to the village. When night falls, Bunbury has been rocked by a series of burglaries and a discovery at the scene of the crime in the home of Bunbury's favorite senior citizens, Liz and Marge, leads amateur sleuth Alfie to fear the worst. He decides that this time the matter should be left to the proper authorities. But some of the villagers have other ideas. And foul play. When Alfie is exploring the private library of a Victorian mansion, he discovers that it contains a century-old secret linked to the writer Oscar Wilde. But when a murder occurs, the only thing to do is call the police. Helena Marchmont is a pseudonym of Olga Wolches. And I don't usually do like anthologies or things like this, but I find this clever. Her books are about over 100 pages each. Putting 3 together makes it a book of 365 pages. So that if you can't write a 365 one-story book, put 3 together. Oh, here's another green one if you're looking for green. Two Spinsters and a Madman, book number 3. Wealthy Louisa Margaretta Haddington is spending a London season in the company of Mr. Fortescue, a notorious rake and spendthrift. She knows she should not seek him out, but she finds him intriguing. Meanwhile, her old friend Judith St. Clair has left her home. Has left her home to work in the Home, a refuge for men and women who are thought to be mad. The resident doctor is Mr. Ludlow Fortescue, who is as serious as his London brother is irreverent. Though Judith finds the Quaker beliefs strange, the work is meaningful. When a foundling child is abandoned at the home, its residents band together to care for her. Then Mr. Ludlow Fortescue is killed. Suspicion quickly falls on the men and women who are residents at the home, though Judith knows that not one of them would have intentionally harmed the doctor. Louisa Margaretta, in order to escape her suitor, promises to solve the murder, but neither of the two friends knows where to start. And when a second foundling is left outside of the home, they begin to wonder if death and new life might be connected. It says it's set during Regency, which you could kind of tell by the silhouettes, kind of, sort of. Are they all named Two Spinsters and a Madman? Odd number 3 to be the same as the name of the series. Reminds me of the Babbling Brook Naked Poker Club. Oh, yeah. Let's go back to that one for a second. Because I was thinking that too, but I think the titles are slightly different. Yeah. The first book is Two Spinsters and a Corpse. And Two Spinsters and a Duel is the second one. And so this one is Two Spinsters and a Madman. The series is called Two Spinsters and a Murder Mystery. That doesn't seem to be good branding for that, but they didn't ask me. To Kill a Rockingbird by V.G. Wood, 5th in the Murderwell Mysteries. Welcome back to Maidenwell, where murder hits all the right notes. How can murder hit all the right notes? When hospitality director and part-time sleuth Gina Belletti is tasked with organizing the biggest event in Maidenwell's history, a comeback concert by an 80s British pop icon, she soon discovers that someone in the touring company has murder on their set list. From the ambitious backup singer, the troubled dancer, to the security chief with a past that's anything but secure, the entire touring company seems to have a motive. And when tragedy strikes during the concert's climactic moment, Gina realizes this isn't just a show, it's a killer's encore. As she peels back the layers of glitter and glamour, Gina uncovers a web of lies and betrayals. But in a world where everyone's singing a different tune, can she unmask the killer before the final curtain falls? And our last one. This one is here because we didn't cover it on Tuesday. So this one isn't necessarily a cozy, but this was published this week, if I remember why it's here. Yes. The Private Island by Ali Lowe. New Year's Eve, Loloma Island, Fiji. At one of the most exclusive island resorts in the Pacific Ocean, the champagne is poured and fireworks are ready, and the countdown to New Year is just beginning. It's set to be a night that no one will forget, especially when a body washes up on the shore. But it's impossible to find answers when everyone here has a motive. The billionaire's daughter, glamorous, untouchable, hungry for her inheritance. The startup founder, out of money and out of time. The young dive instructor, in way over his head and struggling to stay afloat. The husband, blinded by desire in all the wrong ways. And the lover, hidden in the shadows where no one can see them. One person's holiday of a lifetime is about to be the last they'll ever have. Dun, dun, dun. And those are all the books we got to this week. Huzzah! And Murder Not Madman series. Thanks for checking. Yes, not a problem. Ugh. Let me, oh, I just closed it. Let me bring that up again. The Cozy Mystery Amazon list that I have here is open to the public. So if you want to check them out closer, more up close and personal, you can do so until tomorrow. And then I start filling it with next week's Cozy Mysteries. So if something caught your attention, but you didn't quite get all the info about it, and you don't want to scroll through 45 minutes of me going blah, 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 you can just click on that link or copy and paste that link and take a look at things that caught your attention for yourself. Alrighty. So next week we'll have a whole new set of new books being published. It'll make me go sit at the park and watch a little league game. Oh, that would be nice. Cheer on. We do have sprints this afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern. They'll go for 5 hours. Bring your own book. Work on a project. Be productive. Close your eyes after a week. Whatever it is. I just create the time and space for you. So I appreciate you guys keeping me company this morning, but I did not want to miss out on any new releases because I'm always looking, and I think other people are always looking. That's why I do it. Nobody else is doing it. I want to know what's being published. All right. Hope to see you later. If I don't, have a very good Saturday. Have a very good weekend. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Have a good day and God bless. Kay just says, thanks for extra show. See everyone later. Yay!